everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. One of the things I like to do to kind of dress up a project that I'm making is to add prairie points into the seam. So here is a pillow that has the prairie points on it. I also have prairie points on the bottom of this decorative towel, and then this is a table runner with the prairie points all around it. The actual prairie points themselves is a no-sew project. So what you do is you start out with a square, any size you want. The bigger the square, the bigger the prairie point, or the smaller the square, the smaller the prairie point. So here's a 6-inch square, and I'm going to turn it over to where the wrong side of the fabric is up. It's the not so pretty side. So what you want to do is take opposite corners and bring them together. And you need to use an iron on this so that they come out really nice. And then you would press this folded edge. Then you take this corner and bring them together and press again. So now you just have one area where the raw edges are, and this is the edge that goes in your seam. You can overlap your prairie points as much as you want. And here is another example of different color prairie points, and they are also overlapped probably about an inch or more. You can also have your prairie points to where they just come together. So when you pin them in your seam, you're laying them in the seam, you have all your fabrics layered together, and you overlap the corners, the raw edge corners of the prairie points by 1/4 inch. And make sure that you use a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. Now, if you're interested in seeing in more detail how this process was done, I will have links to these tutorials below your YouTube screen in the description section. So scroll down till you see the word more, click on it, and that section will expand open and you will see all the links. Now, this is another type of basket liner, and this one actually is pretty easy to draw. All it has is a piece of fabric at the bottom that's cut into a circle, and then the fabric on the edge here is just a long rectangle piece that's really wide so that it will hang up over the edges. So you bring the ends of that rectangle piece together. You do a gathering stitch on one of the edges and attach it to the bottom piece. So let me show you up close what that looks like. So here's the long rectangle piece of fabric. Here's where I brought the seam together. Now you can cover your raw edges with a overcast stitch or zigzag stitch, but I did just a tiny little gathering stitch, and then here's the circle fabric at the bottom, and I stitched it all together so that it would fit at the bottom of the basket, and then the top just rolled over the edges. Now I have a detailed tutorial on how to make this particular basket liner, but to measure for your basket you need to measure the circumference all the way around, and then you add a little bit extra for that seam allowance. And then you just do a little measuring to go in between the handles, and so that you know how far apart to make these little slits. And I, again, like using that 1/4 inch bias tape to cover the raw edges, and it also acts as the little ties. Now here is a fabric bowl cover. And these are really easy to measure. So when you're measuring for a bowl cover, I'm going to take this off, you want to start far below the edge of the bowl because you want enough for it to go up over the side, across the top, and then down the other side. So you just take a tape measure and measure that, and then cut a circle out. Again, I like using the bias tape on the edges, the raw edges. It also makes a nice decorative edge to put the elastic on. Really, really simple process. So here's a piece of elastic. And all you need to do is, well, the first thing I recommend you do is from the raw edge, go in how far you need to put that elastic. So I would draw a light pencil line all the way around the perimeter, staying the same distance from the raw edge in. Then you would take your elastic and you go to your sewing machine, put your elastic down over that line, and drop your needle down in and do a few stitches in place. You need to set the sewing machine needle in the down position. So there's usually a little button on the front of your machine, or it might even be on your computer screen as to which feature that is. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go to your user's manual and it will explain in there. So every time you stop stitching, that needle stays down so you don't lose your place. So you've got your needle in the down position. You leave your fabric flat and straight, but you pull on the elastic. And you have the elastic really stretched out there, and you do a zigzag stitch. So then you stitch a little bit, stop, adjust, pull on that elastic, stitch a little bit, and continue that process till you get all the way around. And then whatever elastic you have left over, you cut it off and then do a little back stitch back and forth to hold that end down. So if you want more detailed instructions on how to do this simple bowl cover, I'm going to have a link below. Now, one of the questions I get about bowl covers is, how do I protect the fabric? It's going to get dirty from the food. I usually don't care because it's washable. I'm using washable fabric. You could put a little piece of saran wrap over the top of the food before you put the bowl cover on if you have to travel a distance. This is a scrap buster project for you. If you have small pieces of fabric, you can make a napkin ring holder like this. And this is a fat quarter napkin. So all you need to do is you can cut them any width you want. So you cut a rectangle shape that's double the width here. Then you fold that fabric in half and stitch it together so you have this long tube. And then you bring the ends together and then slip it over your napkin. Now, here's another project. So if you like to make decorative towels, you can take small pieces of fabric that look something like this. It can be a complete rectangle shape, or you can kind of cut these in at a diagonal if you want. It's whatever you want to do. So you cut two pieces of fabric, one that shows on the outside and one on the inside. Stitch them together, leave this bottom area open. Put the top of your towel inside a little bit and then stitch it closed. You can use a snap to close this, or I used Velcro because it's really easy to do. And if you want to cover up where the Velcro is stitched, you can put a little button decorative piece on there. Here's another scrap buster project that I think is great, especially if you have a lot of children or grandchildren and you kind of want to keep them out of your hair. So this is a little fabric garland, and just using scraps of fabric, and you can use pinking shears to cut them if you want, or just regular scissors. I think these are about 1 inch wide by maybe 5 or 6 inches, and I combined them with wooden beads and fabric pieces. So you put on a few wooden beads, put on some strips of fabric, and so you can make this little garland piece for any season of the year, and it'll keep all the kids out of your hair. Well, I hope these little tips I gave you were helpful to you. Again, if you're interested in getting more detailed information about any of these items, go ahead and scroll down to the description section below your YouTube screen. Just click on the word more. That section will expand open and you will see the links appearing. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.